So it looks like AOC has really been learning. She's really been paying attention. She's noticing the way in which she can flex power that other congresspeople, they don't have this ability, the same ability that she does. So in the past, I think she was hesitant to use these sorts of tools. But now that she's a more seasoned politician, she's realizing exactly how to push the right button. So look at this. She was doing some sort of was it on TikTok or I don't know if it was Instagram, TikTok, whatever the fuck. She was doing a stream and she unveiled her new plan to fight back against the right's attempt to absolutely obliterate Medicaid in this country, which is healthcare for poor people. Watch this.
Right now, there is a link in my bio, ocasio-cortez.com/save Medicaid. Whether you're a New Yorker like me, whether you're a Michigander, whether you're from Pennsylvania, Colorado, huge amounts of your state budget comes from Medicaid. The way Medicaid gets dispersed is actually by the states. And so Medicaid is paid for by a combination of state and federal match money. In wealthier states, the federal match is lower. So, for example, in New York, the match is 1-to-1. For every $1 that New York spends, the federal government spends $1. Other states, like Kentucky, they actually get a higher federal match. Around 70% of their Medicaid disbursements are paid by the federal government, and 30% are paid by the state. And so what that means is that for so many state budgets, a huge amount of the money that comes in for the state budget in general comes in through Medicaid financing. And so if you touch Medicaid, you are also blowing a massive hole in a lot of state budgets, which are going to affect schools, which are going to affect lots of other things to make up the difference. I've been sitting through all these committee hearings. The highest number that the Republican Party has advanced forward in terms of what can be attributed to quote unquote waste, fraud, and abuse, the highest number they have is $50 billion. Even if you believe everything that they say with no evidence, if they've identified $50 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse, why are they cutting $880 billion, nearly $1 trillion? The reason for it is because they have been assigned to find $880 billion because they are going to give $880 billion to billionaires in tax cuts. That is why you should go to the link in my bio, look up, see if your representative is on that committee, and make a call and tell them, do not vote for this reconciliation bill. Do not vote for this markup bill.
So do you understand what she's saying there? Her point is, hey, all the information is below. If one of these people is your congressperson, call that person and tell them, hey, you better fucking stop with your massive cuts to Medicaid. $880 billion worth. You better fucking stop. We're not interested in what you're selling. This is going to destroy so many people's lives. And she's applying massive amounts of political pressure on the Republicans to try to get them to back off of the destruction of healthcare for poor people in this country. Yes, finally, this is what we've been waiting for. Now, by the way, I want you to take note. This is what AOC is talking about. What are the other Democrats who want to run in 2028? What are they talking about? What about Chuck Schumer's handpicked future star of the Democratic Party, Alyssa Slotkin? What's she doing right now? What she's doing is getting glowing profiles in these shitty corporate centrist outlets where this drives me crazy, but they like to talk about what we should be talking about. Instead of just talking about a thing, they talk about the conversation about the thing, right? Like, oh, we lean too much into social issues and cultural issues, bro, and what we need to do is instead of talking about this, we should probably talk about this other thing. Well, just talk about the other thing then. This is, okay, and podcast world does this all the time too. You've seen this. Everybody likes to talk about talking about stuff. Talk about the conversation, right? No, just have the fucking conversation. So she is laser focused on one of the most important issues facing us right now, where Republicans in the House passed an $880 billion cut to Medicaid, which will destroy Medicaid and make it so low-income people don't have health care in this country, now being picked up by the Senate, right? And she's out there like, hey, man, we got to stop this. I want you to, and this is the power that she actually has, right? The power that she has, and she had this from day one when she got in there, is you won on a wave of grassroots support, on a wave of grassroots populist progressive support. And all people have ever wanted is for a populist progressive politician to use the grassroots, weaponize the grassroots in a positive way, use the grassroots to apply pressure to your colleagues who are selling out to big business on a daily basis and screwing over working people on a daily basis. And so this is the correct way to go about it, right? This is why, people wish that if she was ever in a standoff with Democratic leadership, even in those moments, you have the bully pulpit because you're the one with all the support, right? You're the one that actually has the most followers on social media, the most people who are interested in what you're saying. You're doing the anti-oligarchy tour and getting these giant crowds. That's power. And that's something that Trump understood about himself that other politicians didn't, right? As Trump had these big crowds, he was able to weaponize those crowds and use those crowds and the energy to try to shape the body politic the way he wanted. And this is something that only Bernie and AOC have replicated on the Democratic side. And there's a reason for that, because they're the ones that are saying real shit. And so I love this. Everybody should call all these Republicans who are chomping at the bit to cut Medicaid. Basically call them out, tell them we're going to do everything we can to defeat you if you vote to cut Medicaid. If you don't vote to cut Medicaid, you'll be spared. It's the carrot and stick game, and you got to be aggressive, and you got to use the power of the grassroots. Because I'll tell you what, yes, they're very insulated. Yes, these people mostly care about their corporate donations, but at the same time, if there is enough noise on a certain issue, yeah, they buckle. Yeah, they're afraid. As soon as they feel like my calculation is I will lose my seat if I do this thing, then all of a sudden they'll do the opposite. Right? So I love this. And she's using her newfound power and celebrity, right, which has been increasing in the first 100 days of the Trump regime. She's now using it for good. She's using it for good. And I love this mindset. I want her to apply it in other areas as well. Use the power of the crowd. Use the power of your supporters to get super politically involved. Stay laser focused on the issues. Try to get the right outcomes. You'd be surprised how much can get done if you just give a shit and you fight for it. And she's really, really showing the way now. I love this. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.